Scorpio, hello. How's it going? I'm Polina. Let's have a look at relationships. Boring, yeah, I know. Let's have a look at relationships and how you are compatible, non-compatible with people, and what the hell's going on. Basically, to love you is very interesting. It is not just love, it is beyond. It is not about laughter, and it's not about shame, and it's not about polarity. It's like beyond everything. Love with you is beyond love. If there is such a thing, it's just the total forging, reforming process of a human being, which is something that is very, very rare for human beings to experience at all. Like, people think, oh yeah, I got the house, got the baby, I'm fine, I'm very nice and welcoming new changes, but you've got something which brings people to their knees no matter what you do. And sometimes, like, I'm Scorpio moon and rising, want no more polarity. They want polarity for relationships. So I just want like calm and peace. I got like a Libra moon. I want Libra sun. I want comfortable stuff. But it never does happen because Scorpio is not there for comfort. It's there for recharge, reveal, and reform. So let's have a look what it is to be with you for different signs. But first, one more thing. If you've got a lover who's a Scorpio, you've got to understand they're not for you. They're not for you, for your like cozy little lifestyle. The girl or boy, even though they seem very safe, they're not for you. They're not. And that's not because I'm like a fatalist or anything. It's just a Scorpio human is beyond this realm. And they need to be elsewhere. They got a feeling inside. They got to forge something different. They got to shift, and they got to really accentuate some part of themselves in a huge way, in a torment or a laughter. But they really shift. They die, and they die every day in some way. Like a Scorpio is constantly changing. So to expect such an exotic species of being to be a cozy little husband or wife who just cuddles up to you every night is not impossible, but it's never right. It's like wanting a tiger as a pet, which is possible. It's possible, but it's not right. So let's have a look. Okay, Scorpio, let's have a look at your relationship with Aries. You got a same ruler of Mars, your ancient ruler Mars shares its rulership over Aries, and you've got a lot. You got a lot there. You meet Aries with Scorpio, it means you've done it. You got a lot. You got heaps. You basically got 30 or 40% of your life just sorted. That's because you've come to the right place. When you meet an Aries person, you are continuously growing through them and evolving, anything like that. When you meet an Aries, you just know there is something within you that it just feels that this is right. And usually it's not. But when you've got a lot of your stuff figured out and you've got a lot of sense knocked into you by life, past, present, and future, you get to a point where you're like, I know everything. I know. Don't tell me the answers, I already know. When you get to the point where like, don't tell me the answers, I know, you get placed into a Aries energy with a partner or with a person. Say, I've moved, from Russia to this part of the world, down under, and I'm an Aries now. I'm an Aries ascendant instead of Scorpio ascendant. It's interesting. So basically when you're moving, like I have, like you suddenly have more Aries frequency in you, or you've met somebody who's Aries, you've got a romance with an Aryan moon or sun or ascendant, doesn't matter, Venus, whatever. Basically during the time that you're together, you have to understand that there is something wrong. There's something wrong that you are usually like not really healing or hearing or seeing. Usually like there's a certain type of dumbness or deafness within yourself that doesn't quite see the purpose of you. Like it's reached enough. It's gone through a few different conclusions. It's done a few things and stick to box and here and there. And it's healed itself and it's, placed itself in a really nice social setting or whatever. But there is more than meets the eye. There's much more. There's an innocence in you that you probably don't really feel good about. Usually when you see an Aries person, there will likely be something without which you can do that you don't actually understand is wrong. Like there might be some kind of an old pattern, paradigm that you're putting yourself into that you can really do without. But usually it's not seen or really not understood. So the Aries is basically there to heal you through trauma, or greater understanding of your own fear of being a trauma for another person, or something of the like. There is like a very violent synergy there, but can become very beautiful and very raw and very feeling at the same time, sexual and very erotic in its feeling. But I feel for any Aries person with you, Scorpio, they will soon find their feet and they'll be out of there. Like they'll find a part of them and they'll be like, thank you, and they'll back out and go somewhere else, because Aries doesn't really care for trauma constantly. But with Aries and Scorpio, it's almost like an inevitable part of experience. But then if you wanted to live a better life with that person, if you were with an Aries, like let's say I am, for example, Scorpio moon, I got Aries ascendant in Australia. If you wanted to live a really good life, in that frequency, there's a chance you'll need to destroy. There is a chance that you'll need to destroy and dull down things around you, like yelling out what you need, like yelling and standing up for yourself constantly. And there will also need to be a really certain scenario in an Arian life that brings you to a close for them, like maybe like making you dulled down by them, but there's definite like fight or like some kind of a strong energy there that just needs to be transformed, and then no more ever. So for Taurus and Scorpio, there's lots of frequency of lifting things up to a greater standard. There's lots of liver frequency. When I say liver, I mean ego, like the healthy ego part of the human body, the liver. I got a phone call, sorry, I'll answer it later. Sometimes this also means need to be better off. A bigger, brighter future that's needed for both people. Sometimes when a Taurus meets an Aries, they don't really know what it's about, and a Taurus can be a little bit confused as to, Scorpio. Oh gosh, and the Taurus can be confused about what Scorpio is about, but eventually with time they do change their circumstances very quickly and very quietly as well. They'll suddenly be like dun 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 from this dimension to the next. Sometimes they can run away together from everything. They can commit to greater schemes of reality. They can find the future together a lot more. Often Taurus will want more than Scorpio, but they will eventually find what they need. Even if they've done it only just like for a very short period of time, if they've disconnected for a short period of time, say like 7 or 8 months, sometimes during that time is enough changes made for the rest of their lives, and sometimes not, but usually within this partnership something gets built anew. If you are wondering whether you should pursue a relationship with a Gemini, you should probably not wonder, because when you meet somebody who's Gemini, if you have everything in your grasp, you think that's because you don't. Usually when you are lifting yourself up into a very high regard within, you will find that the Gemini will crush you down. If you are giving yourself too much praise about something, Scorpio, you will recognize that in Gemini there is like a bigger opponent than meets the eye. And often with people of that stature, you'll see that politeness goes a long way. Like something about you is not polite to other people. There is a frequency about you that's a little bit boasty or a little bit showy. And in that there is a frequency of shame, because people feel ashamed for you, or they feel slightly ashamed to be with you. And that frequency is usually what brings around the feelings of Gemini towards you, because they are like no one else interested in that frequency. They're interested in that fear of vulnerability. Because sometimes during a fear of vulnerability, you don't know what you're doing, but you're actually becoming something like kind of like ugly or offset. And that sometimes brings a Gemini into your life who could bring to you a lot more. of that fear, like fear of vulnerability, not coping, not doing well, and things like that. And sometimes they can really politely push you into the best place possible through sex and any kind of connection of the other realms. But sometimes with Gemini, you don't actually see eye to eye at all, even though pretending that this is really good. Sometimes not really fearing of loss, but just kind of like seeing that it's not going anywhere. And for you, I feel that with Gemini, there needs to be standing back or standing still behind a veneer, because Gemini shines a lot brighter than you think they do. With the Cancer, or like they do things behind your back as well, yeah. With Cancer, things are not what they need to be. With Cancer, I mean, you can get involved in many different things to the point where you are completely lost. But things don't need to be as extreme as they are for Cancer for you. And sometimes you get lost in obsession for greater things, and you can feel like I am as obsessed with you as you are with me, but you're not. Like, it needs to be a very feeling frequency for you, like with Cancer, to know yourself better, but not to give in to another person's torments of the heart. And that means sometimes becoming disconnected and giving them a frequency, giving them a feeling, giving them sex or love or enjoyment, but sort of stepping back into your own vulnerable world without having to share their vulnerability with your vulnerability. Sometimes to relate to a Cancer is just basically say it's good, like pat them on the back and be like, it's alright, it's good, it's fine, look, everything's good. And that's all that's needed from you, because there's a power that you provide that's not spoken and not heard of by Cancer before they meet you. That's why you're there for them, because you're showing them power and they are relating it back to yourself. With Leo, Leo has to have what you are having. And that's very annoying, and that's fine. So basically, just give them a little piece of yourself, and then you just move on. And often, it's like one night stands and those, one night things, one 2 night things, and it can become really sort of shameful later on when you understand they really wanted you for something, and you just didn't even understand what they were. I feel that with Leo, there would need to be a very strong need for you to be there for them for some reason. Like, say, if they needed you to give them money, or they needed you to give them facilitation of sorts, and if you felt needed by Leo, I think you'd be there. But if you know that you're not needed, like really, then there's not really a chance for you guys to connect that well. Though in marriages and partnerships of a long-term variety, I feel that when you are very, very, very close to something, like a discovery, Leo will pull you back. But then when you completely discover something, Leo will elevate you way above what you think you should be having. So it's like a funny little story where you're not really seen for you ever. But the more you go inside and you do your own thing and you politely craft away at your own life, I feel the better it is. With Virgo, Scorpio finds peace and quiet, but then again finds boredom and finds annoying separation from the world of the living, because life is too complex for a Virgo. With Virgo, Scorpio just finds pretense where there's none, and it finds goofiness when there's none, finds things when there's no things. And it can become very pessimistic about the world very quickly and sort of form itself a very different life. So for example, if you've got a husband and a child, you might actually find yourself in the arms of another very quickly, under the rug, under the table. You might find yourself in an under the table relationship of any sorts, like a secret marriage or a very interesting communion with people on Facebook where you talk about things that your partner would kill you for, things like that. So you do little sneaky things with Virgo that don't really make sense sometimes, just to feel a little bit more free. But in the end, it sort of all works out. Virgo, it's not like it tames you, but it brings you down a notch. With Libra and Scorpio, it's interesting because I got Libra sun. There's no time to waste. Libra doesn't want to be this, doesn't want to be that, doesn't care, doesn't feel. when a Libra at a point of like no return, it's like, I'm drunk on life, I don't care what happens, I don't care, la 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 la. That's when the Scorpio comes in. When it's like, I don't care about myself, I don't care about the world, la la. That's when Scorpio comes in. And a Scorpio like comes in also with Libra when Scorpio is feeling, I don't need anything. I think I'm fine. I think this is okay. This is okay. Like, blah, 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 blah. And then when they get together, like, Libra makes Scorpio know more. Like that. But at the same time, Scorpio makes Libra understand very little. It makes a very strange passive-aggressive energy out of Libra where it doesn't know how to use its Kundalini properly. Like, those calms and those explosions. Unless it becomes extremely slow. The more slow Libra becomes with Scorpio, the better it is. But then the better is not better sometimes for Scorpio. It wants to see other things. It wants to see inconsistency. Sometimes it wants to see Libra and turmoil, you know, and scarcity. It wants to see Libra in different positions in life. It wants to see Libra like this and like that. What happens when I do this? What happens when I do that? Because Libra is like a pond of water, and then Scorpio is like splashing around, seeing what happens. So basically, if you're a Scorpio in a relationship with Libra, just like leave it to be for them. Lay down, do your thing, learn what they're teaching you about relaxation and memories and past life regression, things like that, and just let it be. With Scorpio. Okay, so been a long day. Okay. So Scorpio and Scorpio. There's not much there. It's ironic. Get the sexiest signs together, Scorpio and Scorpio. You put them together and it turns out that there's like erectile dysfunctions, there's frigidity, or there's limit with sex. For women, less than with men. Like with, say, get two guys together that are like gay men that are really like in love with each other at first sight, and then it's like, I don't actually want to do this with you. Or like a man and a woman, and the man is like, oh, I don't care for that frequency. There's something about you guys that sort of neutralizes each other to the point of like no return. It's like bzz, 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 like there's a frequency within Scorpio and Scorpio where people just don't really want it, but then there's like a respect and a mutual understanding. Like you're talking about life, so you're friends, you're talking about life, talking about like your partnerships and, you know, whatever happens, and you're like, wow, I never thought I'd be this well understood by another person. You're like me, wow, that's boring. Okay, so moving on. Anyway, Scorpio and Scorpio, if you do find yourself in a marriage or a long-term relationship with a Scorpio, leave it behind. Something is never going to need anymore. You need to leave something behind, and for good. Maybe there's a pattern, maybe there's a something, and once you leave that pattern, for example, you've got mother issues or something like that, you leave that pattern, you actually find that maybe you can do it together, though there's chances that you won't. Just because like you leave the pattern, that's what the relationship was about, the pattern, and then you're like, okay, bye, you know, like, so yeah, take it one step at a time with a Scorpio and Sagittarius. Well, that's interesting. Sagittarius makes you feel weak, even though it's like the friendliest fucker around. Sagittarius is like, hey guys, la 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 la. But for this reason, probably, it makes you feel small. If a Scorpio is not ready for it yet, for the big it, usually a Sagittarius will come over in their life, like a friend or a partner or something. It's like, oh, you think you're not ready? You're ready. You're good. You can do it. You can do it. You're in the right place. You meet a Sagittarius, it's like a little bit like thumbs up. You can do it. But sometimes with Sagittarius, Scorpio doesn't feel that good. Even though they tell like Scorpio, like, you can do it, but the Sagittarius is like, you are great. I need to go out and do other things. Bye. And that's fine. And sometimes with long-lasting relationships with Sagittarius, it also depends on what the other person, like the other charts, like aspects are. Like with a Sagittarius person, a Scorpio can find themselves very unnerved, like a nurture of weird things. They can feel maybe I should change my lifestyle. Maybe I should change something about me. Like, oh, wow, I need to do, whoa, look at what you've done. Well, maybe I need to do that too. And that's good. And that makes Sagittarius a really good, like, you know, support and provider of greater guruship towards Scorpio like no one else. But in the same sense, boredom kicks in really quickly. 2-3 weeks later, like you guys are together, 2-3 weeks later, there's something that's like, and both of them is kind of like, Sagittarius is like, I need to see other people, and Scorpio's like, I don't think I know you, I can't, nah. But like, and like relationships when you're lasting with that person, that's fine. It's just like, it's just up to you guys to feel what you think you are needing, then do a bit of that and come back and see what you have together and go on, like sort of jumping between you and them more, like, but it's not perfect, but it's good. Capricorn and Scorpio. Whew. Okay, so Scorpio has done something bad. Scorpio, you've done something weird with your mom or your dad. Scorpio, if you meet a Capricorn and you guys are together, you've done a weird thing that you maybe shouldn't have done. There was maybe something in the air that it's like it wasn't meant to be. Like it wasn't meant to be, and you didn't. You didn't really need to do that thing that you did, and it could be with a brother or sister, it could be with a colleague, it could be with a customer, it could be with mum, dad, it could be with anyone, but you've done something unsavory. Okay, Scorpio, admit it. You've done at least 1 or 2 things in your life that were weird. If you meet a Capricorn and he falls for you or she falls for you and pursues you, there's a difference, okay? If you are pursuing a Capricorn, if you are thinking, I love him, or I want him, or she's so beautiful. If you're looking towards a Capricorn, there's a likelihood that you're looking to adventure into the great big world without wanting to really pay for the karma. Like, you know, like you've done something bad and you're like, I want to do this thing and I think I can. And if you're kind of like lazing about, especially thinking about this person all the time, like their Capricorn person, there will be chance that you are lying about something to yourself, or you're not wanting to admit that you've done something really bad recently. You're like, I'm going to form a new adventure for myself. But like, look at that feeling. When you're lying in bed fantasizing about a Capricorn, what does that feeling entail? Maybe there is something in it that's for you to unravel about yourself. But if there is a Capricorn pursuing you, there is a Capricorn hot and heavy about you, there may be a reason why he's not there yet. Like, he's not there yet. He's not loving himself yet. He's not finding himself, and he's looking to you to be like, give me a chance, please see me. And there's a chance that when it's like that, there is something within you that's really special. And it could be very small, or usually it's quite small. It's a very interesting thing that you've got in your chart or in your frequency that's very special. If a Capricorn is running around after you huffing and puffing, but the frequency of you is not usually ready for change unless you can sort of give and take a bit of stuff with this person, and then like step back into your own shoes, look at them, look at you. Like, there needs to be a lot of measuring and a lot of very, very careful planning if a Scorpio is pursued by a Capricorn. But in the end, sometimes with the Capricorns, how they're placed in the sky at the moment, it can be a momentary thing. But usually with that frequency of obsession from a Capricorn towards a Scorpio, that Scorpio-Capricorn relationship with Scorpio is not the obsessive one and a Capricorn is, there's a chance that there'll be a baby in the air, or there is like a big project is about to take off for Capricorn more than Scorpio, or Scorpio more than Capricorn. It's a really interesting inner battle. It's like, I know you got something big happening. I know that I've got something big maybe happening. And then Capricorn starts running around after Scorpio because it can feel one of them has got something on the way. And more than often, it'll be one person that gets it, but not both. And that is fine as well. Though sometimes it happens like in a miraculous way, both people get satisfied with their lives later on. But in terms of partnerships and marriage, it's best to keep things quiet. Like say, you Scorpio, you got a lot of good things happening, you're writing a lot, you know, you're scheming things, you're doing things behind the scenes. Keep it that way. Don't show Capricorn anything of yours before it's time. That's because Capricorn gets really jealous or like really giving for like the wrong reasons and retractive for the wrong reasons. Like with you, there's like give and take. I want this, but I don't know. Like this, it becomes like a really interesting scenario where you're not sold the materials that you're meant to be sold, or like you're not given what you're meant to be receiving. Like there's a lot of different things that happen. So basically remain in complete secrecy if you can about what you do and who you are, because otherwise things get really messed up. Anyway, Aquarius. Aquarius and Scorpio love each other, though everybody's not satisfied with their union. Quite often, Aquarian will be more minded in that way than Scorpio. Scorpio's like, fuck it. No one cares. Nobody believes that we can be together. Say like we are different race, or like we are the same gender. Like let's be together. And Aquarius will be like, yes. But then they're like, but my mom loves me and I don't want to disappoint my mother. Like they might be like, oh, but I don't want to become like the outsider for my friends. And it's really unique to see Aquarius to be awkward. And around Scorpio, they are. Scorpio's like, you and me, come on, let's do it. I think we can do it. And usually Scorpio is possessive of an Aquarius when it sees no other choice. Sometimes like, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. You'll do. Yeah, let's do it. I think you and me will be together. And usually during that time, Aquarius is like bored or haunting somebody else. Like they're usually like thinking about someone, they're trying something and they're like unsure in themselves. And then Scorpio comes to them and gives them like, well, there you go. Look, I just solved your problem. Now you and me, we need to do something. Come on, like I'm bored. And this kind of union ends in very strange experiences for both. It starts with that sort of like, okay, I'm bored, let's do it. But then often it sort of begins to disintegrate really quickly after the understanding that relationships are not meant to be together. They're meant to be just like backgrounds or like white noise when a person's trying to figure themselves out in a way, in a greater scheme. And Aquarius doesn't quite want to see it that way because they're friendly minded. They're friendly. Everyone to be the same. Everyone to be a connection to each other. And then when they find that Scorpio is like really unifying for other people, and then they got this going on, that going on, they can get really scared. They're like, this person just wants to rule. They just want to like scary be. They want to be a scary like motherfucker who like takes advantage of other people's attention, or they don't understand what the Aquarian scheme is either, and they just become a bit like whoa. And then the Scorpio is like, nah mate, we gotta do it. Like let's just do it. Let's play with everybody. We just like play with everything. Well, usually at the point when Scorpio sees an Aquarius in their life and they're interested, it's like, I have no freaking clue. I don't care. Like let's just do it. And like, haha, everybody sucks. I'm good, you're good, like everyone else sucks. And that's a really terrible scheme for things to happen. But usually, like say if Aquarius is very interested, very keen, like say Scorpio's like, oh yeah, whatever, and Aquarius is like, oh, what are you? Oh, I'm interested in you. Usually Aquarius doesn't care about themselves during that time, and that makes Scorpio really excited because like, oh, you're a little slave. Oh, you're so cute. You're a slave to the system. You're a slave to your mom. You're a slave to your dad. Okay, well, meet me in my house. Let's go out and I'll twist you around, see what you're made of. And that sometimes can be really healing for an Aquarian, but usually can be very tormenting as well. So in the greater scheme of things, if you're together with an Aquarian, keep it separate, keep it simple. Very simple. Hey guy, hey, want some food? Yes, I do. Okay, there we go. Simple is best. With Pisces, okay, My boyfriend is Pisces. Pisces and Scorpio. Scorpio wants wanting. Like, when the Pisces comes into your life, Scorpio, it's like you are like wanting. I want feeling. Like, what is it to love? What's that? What is that? Like, yeah. And that's when Pisces becomes in itself appropriate for Scorpio, because Pisces is like, whatever you need, I've got. Oh my God, I have everything you will ever need. Pisces sees Scorpio as purity, amazing stature, greatness, beauty. Even though Scorpio is like far, I don't even know who I am. But like Pisces, like you are it, and Pisces will go and will do. And sometimes to the point where they'll suffocate everything they are. They'll do everything for, Scorpio. They'll get everything clean, get everything sorted. And Scorpio's like, I like you. I like you. I like you. I feel you. And then eventually for many years, because this is quite a lengthy energy, I feel Scorpio can evolve through Pisces and be experiencing way more beauty and passion through the evolution, but it's like a nay, like sort of like you gotta like go very, 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 very fast and then like really quite quickly through it, because sometimes when the Scorpio is around Piscean energy too long, it sort of becomes like a Piscean and goes la 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 la, and it sort of forges a completely humorous weird way of being and doesn't get anything. So with Pisces, Scorpio has to be completely self-deceived. Sorry. Self-deceived sometimes, like, like you don't feel it, you have to feel it. You don't like it, you have to like it. Like, say, if you are somebody who is usually like, I don't really see how I'm beautiful, but I guess I am. You have to be like, I am beautiful, I can feel it, I feel, it's okay, I feel. Like, say if you're somebody who doesn't feel satisfied with anything that you do, and you're like, oh, I don't feel anything. You gotta feel. If you're a Scorpio that's not feeling, Pisces is in your game because it's like the last frontier, it's like death wish, it's like the death card, it's like crazy. So it's like when you are in a situation where you are like, I don't know if I belong in this world, and Pisces is like your boyfriend, it's like time to be like, I belong here, that's why I'm here, thank you God, thank you Jesus, thank you Moses, thank you like Krishna, thank you Buddha, thank you very much for being here. Because usually when the death card is drawn for Scorpio, the last frontier, Pisces, comes around and it's basically like, you're unique, you're special, come into the afterlife with me. So it's like the last frontier where Scorpio becomes somebody else and completely disconnects or diminishes everything they've done and becomes something completely different. And sometimes like it's really kind of like clever how it's done, because they become somebody that's not them anymore, and it can become like really unnerving to other people to see them sort of transform into a completely different frequency, but at the same time it can be also very nurturing for other people to experience. It's like expiring, like he expires. Scorpio's expired in Pisces. That's kind of the energy of that. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you like a reading or a forecast for yourself, specifically, I do readings and forecasts for people. So yeah, get in touch with me. There's my website downstairs, down below in the link. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.